What's good, y'all? It's your boy dj.dr.dice right here with O.H.P.T.V. What's up with that? We trying to bring y'all every angle of entertainment. I'm sitting here right now with an author. He has written a book about his family, about his life. He goes by the name of Lamar Mouling, and from his mouth, he's going to kind of give you some insight on what's going on with this book and some of the trials that he went through that inspired this book. How you doing today, man?
Doing good. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate this interview. I realized that this is something is pretty intimate, and it took, I guess you really dug in your soul to write a book like this. Would you like to elaborate on the story?
Well, the story happened about, I would imagine, about 10 years ago. It took me about 3.5 to 4 years to put the book together.
Okay.
But it's about my father. Something that happened in my life with my father at the time, and I just wanted to share the story with the public. It's an exciting story, and in the book I start out talking about my family. Of course, it was all about family,
right,
and what led to the incident. Putting it in a nutshell, basically what happened is that my father eloped.
Okay.
He was 72, I think, at the time, and I was taking care of him. And in the nursing home, well, the nursing home was not really a nursing home; it was like a daycare for senior citizens.
Right.
And he met an elderly lady. They started to see each other, and I sort of like encouraged it because.
Okay.
At that age, depression is one of the things that older people have to overcome.
Right.
And he needed a life. So I sort of like encouraged it. And what happened is that he and this woman got very close. And she was living with her daughter and the daughter's husband at the time, which was in Fort Washington, Maryland.
Okay.
I'm originally from Tampa, Florida. That's where all of our family members are. But anyway, they eloped without my knowledge. I didn't find out until later that they had wed each other. To make a long story short, the wife of my father became very vindictive over the course of the marriage.
Okay.
Because I didn't encourage it. I didn't think it was a good thing. He was in the early stages of Alzheimer's, and they didn't know that at the time that some of the things that he would be saying was not true. He would sort of like make up things, so they believed him. But over the course of their marriage, which I think lasted about 3 years, she became very vindictive and tried to keep him from us, and a long story short, my dad passed away. Again, we are from Tampa, Florida. That's where all of our relatives are. So we were faced with a dilemma. Where were we going to bury my father? Of course, naturally, you would think that you would want your relative buried where most of your relatives are. But this woman, I keep saying this woman, but basically, she was very vindictive, and she decided that she was not going to do that. She was going to bury him in Maryland against the wishes of everybody else in the family. I remember once my sister called. We were trying to persuade her to get her to have the funeral in Tampa, and then we would sort of like have a dual funeral, one in Maryland and then one in Tampa. But she didn't want to do that, so she decided against all the wishes of all the family members that she was going to bury my dad in Maryland. Well, legally she is the wife, so we were in a fix, and this is my dad.
Right.
I mean, he was 72 years old. He raised me. He raised us. His family's in Florida. He only knew this woman for about, say, 3 years, and it just didn't seem right. So we had a dilemma. We had to do something.
I got you. So basically what we have here is a love story, we have a scandal, we have control, You said she's vindictive. That's the word you chose. Not Over My Dead Body is the book that we're discussing, and it sounds to me, I've heard your synopsis. It sounds to me that there's a lot of compassion and love for your father, and somehow or another, somebody else, and it almost looks like unwanted, got involved with your dad. I mean, it looks like you wanted her there in the beginning, right. But you never could imagine that it was going to go to this level.
Well, here's how it really all plays out. My dad was 72, she was 76. Mm-hmm. She was looking for companionship, and he needed companionship.
And you wanted companionship
and
for him.
I wanted that to happen, mm-hmm. Okay? But I didn't think that they should have gotten married.
Right.
Because eventually his health was going to deteriorate to a point, and she's an elderly person. She's not going to be able to take care of. And that became true. That manifested itself. Mm-hmm. Dad began to have health problems, and the daughter of this woman began to not want him there anymore, because eventually the responsibility felt on her and her husband, because the mother, the elderly woman, could not take care of my dad.
Okay. So this book here, this is about family, and this is about everyday life. It could happen to anybody. You wanted to expose, or you wanted to, basically it sounds like you put some of your pain in these pages. Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me. How did you get this book published?
I published it myself.
What?
Yes.
You published your own book?
Yeah, self-published.
That's impressive.
It's listed with Lulu.com.
Lulu.com.
Yes, I have my own website. It's freewebs.com, L. Mouling. Mm-hmm. And the title of the book is Not Over My Dead Body. It's also listed on Amazon.com. Mm-hmm. But to highlight the essence of the story, this book is about last will and testament.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You know, my dad passed away. There was no will, and she legally had the right to his remains. So, but morally, you know, we felt that he should be buried with his relatives in Tampa. Mm-hmm. So my dad passed away. His body was submitted to the hospital, the Veterans Hospital in D.C. under the Veterans Administration.
Yeah.
So what we had to do, my brother and I.
Oh. Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
That is part. What he's getting ready to tell you is part of why you have to get this book. I don't want you to leak that. They have to get this book, because that right there is what intrigued me to do this interview. What happened with his father after he passed? Oh my goodness, I get chills just thinking about it. How they took initiative to go to the next level. You will have to get this book though, to find out what this family did, what this man did, to step in and take action for his family. This book right here, man, you said they can go get it on the website. They can order it. I have a hard copy right here, signed by the author myself. I will show you the picture where I actually get it signed by him. This is the signature right here. I have the hard copy. You need to get your hard copy.
Right.
How much is it?
$15.95, I think. You could download it for about $4. Mm-hmm. So it's not expensive. It's an exciting story. Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's a very exciting story. It was so many things that could have went the other way, but did not. It was something that no one could have planned. Uh-huh. You know, this was a dramatic event in my life, and I wanted to share this with the public. It is an exciting book. You should read it, not for the sake of me making money, but for the sake of what you can learn from this here.
And it's very entertaining.
Which meant that we had to figure out a way to get his body out of the hospital.
Get to that chapter right there. That right there. That one right there.
Fly him to Tampa without the wife knowing it. All in a weekend. It was just an impossible ordeal. It was an impossible task. It could have
law enforcement involved, all that.
Yeah, the VA was threatening a lawsuit. This could have only been done with the hands of God. It was not my doing or anyone's doing. It's a great story. In fact, the last
we had the weekend to actually make the funeral
Right.
arrangements.
This was the last Dad dies. From chapter 12 to chapter 19, that was a weekend. That was 1 week. But the rest of the book is a life. From the beginning to chapter 10 was my life.